more people know about great kings and queens in Africa than what their favorite food is, or what their favorite color is, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't sit down and study themselves. They want to study everything else and want to be a scholar and a lecturer and a information propagandist for everything and everybody else. But when it comes to figuring out what makes them tick, what is the thing that fuels their fire, what makes them tick, a lot of them just don't know. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad because for the most part, everybody should at least know who and what they are. However, knowledge itself is not common and is not knowledgeable amongst those who covet knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And when knowledge planted for wisdom and vice versa, without all coming in tandem to bring forth the understanding, then what you really just have is confusion. And according to Act 5 of the Divine Constitution and Bylaws, it says that we're not to be out here promoting confusion amongst the 85 and those people who have not subscribed to the ideologies that we have. So regardless of how much you want all original people, all so-called black people to be free, it's selfish of you to want that for those of them who don't want that. You understand what I'm saying? Just because somebody say they want to be free and say that they want to live their life and their culture, don't mean they really want to do that. You know what I'm saying? You got niggas promoting black sovereignty now. You know what I'm saying? So again, and when I say black, me, I'm talking about the eternal triple stage darkness, out of which 66 trillion years ago the original man descended, and from there 100,000 years ago to 50,000 years ago descended into flesh, which represents the fall of man. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? When I say black people, I'm talking about people who have that understanding or who are striving for that understanding. Because those are the real people. Those are the people who are sharing the imagery and the technology and the spiritual technology that we are using to transcend this mundane reality. Really, those of us that are doing a lot of the work, the real work, you know what I mean? Our audience is not even born yet, you know what I'm saying? Or they're incarnating at such a rate where they're not fully actualized yet. So there's a splendid time for us to really take advantage of the historical continuity that is manifesting out of the work that we are doing in understanding and giving energy to the knowledge of yourself. Knowledge itself is a coveted thing. Like I said, everybody wants you to have knowledge of everything else other than that. Because having true knowledge of yourself means that people can't railroad you into certain ways of thinking. That means then they can't tell you that they just got you from a slave ship or something like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole nother level of consciousness that exists in which you can't even encompass as a human being. You understand what I'm saying? There's a certain level of knowledge about yourself that you can't have as a human at this point. You have to transcend the flesh. It used to be in the times of Enoch and all that, you could stay in the same body and do all of that. But this don't mean it can't be like that again. It just means that where we are right now as a species, as a people, we have been greatly reduced based upon the inhibiting nature of our thoughts. Our thoughts connotate our deeds and actions. Therefore, if your thoughts are limited, your deeds and actions will be limited. You can't UCC that. You dig what I'm saying? You can't discharge that. You dig what I'm saying? You have a contingency of energy now that's trying to convince you that monetary gain is somehow synonymous to higher spirituality. Ishtar comes from the word Ishtar or Astarte. Also the word Astaroth, which is also a lower throne entity. So it's funny when you get a white rapper named Asheroth. See what I'm saying? See how funny that is? Asheroth, right? So you see going down, like there's a whole nother tetragrammaton working underneath everybody, because everybody is looking at it from a limited perspective, aspect of the science that deals with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, right? And order. It is about the order of things, how things come to be, how things come into being. There is a Latin phrase, a Moorish Latin phrase that goes that it's qui accurit sibi accurit heredibus, which means he who secures for himself secures for his heirs. You understand? Just like qui accurit sibi accurit. Well, I said that one. What was the other one? Qui comalio contrahit vel est vel ebe debet non ignoros contradictos ellos, which means he who enters a contract either is or ought not to be ignorant of what the contract entails. We are no people. We are a righteous people. We are a royal people. We are a humbled by God people. You understand that you got brothers and sisters walking around talking about they want to have upliftment of the black culture and the black society and all that, but they atheists. They atheists. Think about that. That's like you having AZ or somebody. I don't like you always using him. This would be like you having Guy de Rothschild as like your father, but then you being like, nah, I don't really deal with what he deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I don't really get down like that. I don't really believe in all. I don't believe in what he's doing. Nigga, you grew up in it. What you mean you don't believe what he doing? What he doing paid for all of them ponies and them bat mitzvahs and your $500,000, your $250,000 car that you got for your 16th birthday and all that. Where you think all this blood money? Where you think this money coming from? Then you want to get to an age and you will be like, nah, I don't agree with his politics, so I'm gonna make my way on my own. Like, come on, man. That is a manifestation in the highest form out of that triple stage dogma that encases around. We're like a speck. We're not even like, we're like half of a grain of sand. We're not even a quarter of an inch of a grain of sand in the mighty aspect of the universe and the cosmos. There's a micro and a macro. Remember that. We could be in a drop of water in somebody's dimension right now. Right? There's a point when you study yourself that you're going to get to a point where you're almost at odds with yourself, because there's a breakthrough that's happening. Things about yourself still. a grown-ass man, 41. And sometimes I still don't pee straight into the toilet. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? So that means it was the same way for Einstein. It was the same way for Howard Hughes. It was the same way for Martin King and everybody else. You understand? You are never too old to submit to a higher form of knowledge that is coming to you from a sublime place that would allow you to access that sublimity within you, to raise yourself to the point that you actually grow up. You grow up, meaning that you activate the macabre, transpose into light, and bounce back to where we came from. Some of us have mastered the ability to do that in physical form. But to get to that physical part, you got to get the meditative aspect up to the point where you can commune and then travel astrally with yourself first, and then with your mate or your partner. Cream used to be the best part until Wu-Tang. Then it was turned into cash rule and everything around us. But we understood the cream from the 120, which is manifestation of the sperm reaching the egg, going through the Milky Way and all of that. That's the Big Bang. That's the friction that causes the reality. Good dudes used to say that, yo, I banged it out. So we about to bang. So I banged her back out. These little idioms and things that we act like is not really a part of nothing is actually a part of something way bigger. But we are caught up in figuring out everything else except ourselves. When the last time you just sat down by yourself and not did nothing and only thought about what you wanted to think about? Or how about this? Don't even think about nothing. When was the last time you just sat down away from nobody? The kids, no cell phones, no emails, no Twitter, no nothing. When was the last time you did that for yourself? Like that. When the last time you did anything for yourself? Really. But when I say something for yourself, I mean like read something or go for a walk with yourself. See what you encounter and things like that. Buy something that you like for yourself that help with your self-esteem, whatever it may be. When was the last time you did that? When was the last time I did that? I don't know. Maybe my birthday. But it still wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just dealing with you based on a book, homie. I'm dealing with you based on a lot of books, as well as the metaphysical aspect of what this stuff means, and then how it relates to you as an individual, bringing this or regurgitating some shit that was probably manifested out of the mouth of Malthus, Hobbes, or Nietzsche, or one of the other, Greeley's or Stevens that they done created to help perpetuate the reconstruction of history that you now trying to espouse to me under the guise of you a revolutionary, you about the red, black, and green, you about the Israelites, you about this or that. Like, I don't even care, man. I don't even care. I'm like Superfly in the scene where he was building with the Black Panther niggas, and he was like, look, if you want to do it, you got the guns, I got the guns, let's go and do it right now. Let's run up in Whitey thing and shut this shit down right now. And these niggas looked at each other. He said, well, if you're not ready to do it now, then get the fuck out of my face and let me keep doing what I'm doing. And what was he doing? Selling dope. You know what I'm saying? Selling dope. You understand? The niggas that was selling dope is more real. You understand? It was more real than half of these niggas that's out here espousing this black power, black nationalism, black sovereignty, whatever it is this week. I don't even know. Them niggas is more real than that, because them niggas is actually risking something. You understand?
We've only just Oh, yes, indeed.